What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I got something on the lens. Give me 1 second. And that should be better. I don't know if you guys could see that, but I could, and I gotta stare at the lens to talk to you. And today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. We are in Gary's 4th gen 3/4 ton gasser, and we are pulling the trailer. Now I think this trailer is a 24 footer, might be a 20. It's a 20 or a 24 foot trailer, and we are towing this back from our job site to his house because the 24 valve Cummins is at the alignment shop getting aligned. I did not waste any time. We got that sucker right in to get everything straightened out on it. And once we do the ball joints, and I think the track bar and probably a steering gearbox on the truck, then we're gonna have to get it realigned all over again. But I couldn't wait to get it aligned until I got that stuff done, so I will be looking to probably do the ball joints, track bar, and a new steering gearbox here in the near future, and then get it aligned one last time with the new steering stabilizer. Obviously the whole front end of the truck will be freshened up and brand new. But anyways, we are driving his truck right now with the trailer attached to us, and what I kind of want to do is, I know this isn't diesel content, and some people who are on the channel watching the videos are not into just diesels, they're into gas trucks as well, or they don't have a diesel and they have a gas truck. So I figured we would do a video on a gas truck and how this truck tows, being a 3/4 ton, but with the 5.7 liter Hemi. I know one thing that is nicer about this truck than mine is that you can probably hear me a lot better than you can in my truck because it's much quieter in the cab of this one. But I want to do like a good comparison video of my truck pulling the trailer and this truck pulling the trailer, so that we can try to get a feel for, I guess, how they both take off with the trailer attached to them, how they both ride with the trailer attached to them, and more or less like what kind of fuel mileage each of them gets with this trailer attached to them. Obviously my truck, you'll know a trailer is attached to it, but mine has a lot more torque than this, so it, I would hope, would pick up and go a little bit faster. But mine is a 2nd gen, so it is older, and this one is a 4th gen and has some new upgraded perks to it. So even though this is a gas truck with those upgraded perks and that higher horsepower in this gas engine, which is much higher than what the stock horsepower is of the 24 valve 5.9 liter Cummins from back in 98.5 to 2002. Those trucks, the standard outputs only came with 235 horsepower from the factory. The high outputs came with 245. Now I gotta believe that this truck is probably a little over 300 something horsepower bone stock from the factory. So we already have a little bit more power, but with what I have done to my truck, as in the edge comp box and injectors and just the exhaust and little things, if I turn the box up and stuff on the truck, on my truck, we probably can be pushing close to the same amount of horsepower as this truck. What I noticed with this truck right out of the gate is that it really doesn't hesitate to get up to speed. It doesn't sound like it's straining. It doesn't seem stressed at all, I should say. When you get into it, you don't really have to lay into the throttle to get this thing moving with that trailer back there hooked up to it. We're gonna be coming up to a stop sign up here, so I'm gonna film the speedometer and we can watch the tach and the speed increase, and I will kind of commentate what I'm doing with the throttle as we take off from a dead stop up here. So we are at the stop sign. Look both ways. Safety first. Safety starts with me. All right, we are in the clear. Here we go. Let's film the speedometer, and I am probably on the throttle about quarter of the way right now. And this thing just really isn't, it just takes off nicely. You can't, You can tell that there's weight attached to the rear end, but it doesn't really make the truck hesitate. And that trailer is loaded up with a lot of tools, so there is a good amount of weight back there. But we got right up to the speed limit here. We'll have to review the footage and see kind of how long that took to get up to 40, but I don't think it was it wasn't too long. You could see on the tach though that the RPMs weren't wigging out. And so this is the type of comparison that I want to do with Gary's 4th gen Hemi and my 2nd gen 5.9 liter Cummins. Is I want to hook it up and we can either review this footage of me towing the trailer, or we can do it all over and pull the trailer again with his truck and then hook it up to my truck and pull it, and just get good comparisons of the speedometers and the tachs and what we're doing with the throttle, how they ride and respond to bumps in the road when they have this big thing attached to the rear end, all that stuff. And I just think that that would be a good comparison to see how a newer gas truck compares to an older diesel, and is it worth getting a diesel? I mean, people have their different reasons for wanting either or one or the other, but I don't know, that's a tough call. And I don't even think, even with a comparison video of how each of them tows in their own separate ways, I don't even know if that's really enough evidence to really help somebody decide whether or not it's better to go with a diesel or a gas. It's really just going to boil down to personal preference and what they really want the most, or want more. We all know that the diesel is going to get better fuel mileage. I can fill my truck up and put 450 to 500 miles on it every week going to and from work, and then I have to refill again. He's probably getting about 230 miles on his, so I'm getting double the mileage out of mine. So now we're at another stop, but this road right here, the speed limit is 55. So when we get out here, we're gonna have to try and really pick up speed. Let's see how long it takes. Here we go. 5, 10 miles an hour, 15. And we're at 55, there we go. I probably moved like a quarter mile down the road before I actually made it to 55, and I had the throttle pressed down about halfway, but that wasn't too bad. It didn't really stress out too much, and it still got up to speed real nice. We did go over some railroad tracks, and it jerked a little bit. Obviously, it's going to with a trailer hooked up to the rear end, but it was still comfortable. The suspension and everything on the newer trucks, obviously Dodge figured out what they did wrong with the previous generation, so the suspensions on the newer trucks are indeed better. So if I were pulling the trailer with my truck and we went over railroad tracks or something like that, I already know 100% that the ride would be a little bit more rough. But the overall comfort level of this truck right here is, I gotta say, not bad at all. I have spent 16 to 20 plus hours in this truck at a time out plowing snow, and it's good for quite a while, but then after a certain point, it does definitely start to kill your lower back. But I feel like that is gonna be all dependent of the person also. And I feel like any vehicle, no matter what, is gonna end up hurting your ass and your lower back. It doesn't matter how much cushion are on the seats, you're eventually gonna start to fall asleep and get numb below the waist. So we're going up a little hill right now. We definitely had to get into it just to maintain our speed. See, like that little hill right there, I feel like is something like where my truck, the torque would have helped carry us and maintain our speed going up that hill. And I don't think that my truck would have dropped gears like that to get us back up to speed and hold that and maintain a 55, 60 mile an hour range. So there's where the biggest difference is going to be, aside from the fuel mileage between the gas and the diesel. So if you guys want to see like a more, I guess, legitimate kind of comparison between the old 2nd gen 5.9 liter Cummins and this 4th gen 5.7 liter Hemi, let me know down in the comment section, because I'm sure Gary and I can make that happen with us towing the truck or towing the trailers with our trucks, and he's got another smaller trailer too, which I have towed with my truck, and I gotta say, you really could not tell that that thing was attached to the rear of my truck. Even when I was pulling around the lawn equipment and the mower and stuff, you just really couldn't tell that it was back there. The only time you would be able to tell that it was back there was at times going over like railroad tracks or hitting a good bump in the road. Obviously you'd feel the trailer move and kind of bounce the rear end of the truck. The real test would be with pulling this big trailer on each of our trucks. So if you guys want to see a comparison or something like that of the two trucks in the same video, let me know down in the comment section. Hit that like button, that'll definitely let me know. Hey, and then we can look to make it happen. Now that the weather's getting good, we got nothing but time and ideas flowing for video content for the channel. And just like that, guys, we are back in the 24 valve, and that is what I'm talking about. That's what my steering wheel should look like. I don't know what the hell I did changing those parts out, but whew, so grateful we got that alignment done. Here we go. How about you get a look at that 4th gen Cummins right across the street? I am home finally. It is late. I got home way later than I expected to after picking up the truck from the shop where it had the alignment done. So I feel good about things, guys. We got the new steering components down there installed on the truck. Steering stabilizer, track bar, steering gearbox. My mind is going crazy thinking about everything still that is left to do with the truck and the checklist, but we are slowly but surely getting things checked off that list, and that's all that matters. The truck is it's gonna be in good shape during the summer, and come next winter time and all that, hell, I may even look to hang a plow on it next winter. I don't know if I really want to abuse it like that, but it's possible. Just to make some extra cash, it might happen. But I really do feel good about where the truck is compared to where it was when I first got it. It definitely needed some work. The previous owner had skimped out on some maintenance stuff and whatnot, and I picked it up off of them because, well, basically I knew that the frame and everything was really good on it, in good condition. It had a little bit of rust and stuff, but that body panels can be taken care of. If you got a good foundation, as in the frame, all that other stuff is obviously, it can be repaired and fixed, and you'll be good to go with a good solid truck. So we are getting there. We're making progress with it. I hope, like I said, that you guys really are enjoying what I'm bringing to the channel and what I'm putting out for you guys. Let's take one quick look at what we did yesterday and what's still left to be done underneath there. I'll show you how wobbly and how loose these old steering components are, and then we're signing off for the night. So there you go. There's the center link attached over there to the knuckle on the driver's side. Got our old wussy steering damper, steering stabilizer in there. That sucker is gonna come out. And one thing with the steering stabilizer, when I beat this down out of this center link, I did end up damaging the end of this very, very lightly. But it was enough to where this nut would not go back on there. So what I had to do is I had to take a grinder and I had to grind the end of that ball stud down so that I had fresh threads to thread that nut onto. So the old hammer with the light taps and the heat was just enough to mess the end of that stud up, just to the point where that nut would not thread back on there. So what it did was smush these end threads together, and it just would not thread on there. So we had to grind the end off, and luckily it worked out so that we could put that steering stabilizer back on. Now I could have ran the truck without the steering stabilizer for a day or two while we ordered the new one in, but we got it on there. We made do with what we had. We fixed it, and now we have a little bit of time to get a steering stabilizer in this week or early next week, however long it takes to get here. And then here is everything attached into the pitman arm, which we are going to be replacing. We are also going to be replacing the steering gearbox right here to get a new one in there, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. I may pop for the almighty expensive redhead, or I may just get another new just your regular generic run-of-the-mill steering gearbox. Our track bar back here is definitely, it's good for now, but we're gonna grease up the ball stud on this one so that it's greased and lubricated, but that is definitely gonna be getting yanked out and replaced. And we are gonna be rechecking the torque on the nuts for all of this stuff that we installed yesterday after another day or two of driving on it. And remember, we still have sway bar end links right there to do. We have those in the garage, came in the kit that we ordered online. We're gonna get new bushings for the sway bar too and do that. And front shocks leveling kit, that's gonna be coming down the road. And the big job that I am dreading is the ball joints and U-joints in the axle shaft. And while we're doing that and everything is apart, we might as well redo the wheel bearings, the hubs and all that, and just put it all back together fresh and new so that the front end of the truck is good. So taking a quick look at this old stuff right here, look at how easy this moves around. Actually, this one was a little bit tighter, but still, you should not be able to push it with one finger like that and move it around. This one actually isn't in as bad a condition. I think these other ones are a little bit worse. Yeah, see, look at that. That thing is loosey-goosey. So these definitely were getting to the end of their life and needed to come off. Yeah, look at this one. This one is the worst one. But we don't have to worry about that anymore. We got the new stuff on there, and that's that. We're moving onward and upward and moving forward. So that's gonna do it for me. Got the old crotch rockets out. Hell, I would too on a day like today. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. I am signing off. Hit that like button on your way out. If you're stopping in for the first time and you have not subscribed yet, just flip and do it, man. Don't even think about it. Hit that subscribe button. Join the community here that we're trying to build on Pure Panorama. Enjoy the content that I'm putting out for you, because we got lots of it coming down the road, getting into this nice weather with this 24 valve Cummins. I hope you guys enjoy everything that you're seeing and can learn from one another here on this channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh, and by the way, do you guys want to see that towing comparison between the old 2nd gen diesel versus a new 4th gen gasser? I think it'd be a pretty good comparison and a matchup. Let me know.